There's some negative perceptions associated with hip hop and how have they affected you?
Mm. Well, I think in order to answer that question, we would have to talk about race and gender in
Yeah.
America in order to understand some of the stereotypes that are
Yeah.
played out. In order for me to really understand it, I had to look to black feminist authors that gave gender and race analysis.
Yes.
And one of those authors is Patricia Hill Collins on intellectual activism. She has a chapter in this book about black sexual politics, and she actually gives some insight as to how gender and race play out. Real men are supposed to be dominant, in charge, smart, strong. Similarly, ideal women are supposed to be subordinate, emotional, ornamental, sexually alluring, and weak. These ideological gender constructions of strong men and weak women produce social scripts that tell each of us how we should think and behave. So like when she's talking about strong men and weak women, I think that hip hop really has capitalized on that. Gender roles are very clear in hip hop. We know that hip hop is a male dominated art form, right? And that requires women to be seen as sexual objects in order for the perpetuation of rape culture to take place. And I think that's one of the most harmful aspects of hip hop, because it's I mean, not only is it unhealthy, but it takes away from the true healing nature of hip hop and lyricism that it could have. And as a woman, as a female MC, as somebody who's grown up on hip hop, I know that we can get back to a healthier reality. So I'm in favor for challenging these gender norms. I'm in favor of allowing hip hop to take a different course in which men challenge the construction of what it is to be a man. That we identify racism in hip hop. I mean, why not? You know, we live in a day and age where Black lives matter, and they will always matter. So we should use hip hop as a tool for social change. And in that, we're gonna have to challenge some stereotypes and norms that we've been living with that have been normalized. And I think it's time to break those chains down.
What inspired you to make music in the first place?
Well, music is a healing art, so I'm attracted to healing and learning how to heal myself and others in my community, so I'm attracted to it for that reason. But what inspired me to make music on my own is because I wanted to offer myself and my community an alternative to misogynistic or violent lyrics.
Was there like a specific event that inspired you to make music or think this way about music?
You know, I think I've always been on this train of thought of understanding how unhealthy our society is and what we can do to heal ourselves, but what inspired me was actually a really unfortunate event that happened last year. Last spring, I was sexually assaulted by a celebrity, and this individual was not going to be held accountable without me speaking up and speaking out about it. And through that, I understood the power of music and the power of lyrics, and started to see how much our community was being influenced by music, and the need for healthy lyrics, for positive lyrics, for lyrics that don't suggest violation against women, you know? So I think that event, although unfortunate and really traumatic, it led me into a deeper part of healing through music.
Man, sometimes your own will hate you more than the master and his wife. Trolling late at night, but I ain't here to start a fight. Why you waking me up right before I go to school? Ruining my day with your nasty attitude. You see I'm all about truth, facts and stats, creating healthy rules, and snapping rats and traps. My only motivation is to line your crown to root. It's stuck in off balance like a gun that can't shoot. Stick up, bankrupt loot, handwritten IOUs. In other words, negative. Cough syrup sedative. Sleeping on the street without enough memory to clearly see your own relative. In other words, negative.
Also, how do you deal with those negative perceptions? Like, just in your personal life, just how do you deal with those?
Golly. I mean, to be honest, I'm gonna tell you, it's hard.
Yeah.
I think it's a constant battle, but there's a light at the end of the tunnel. So how do I deal with it? I have a pretty strict regimen that I follow. So that includes 3 pillars. That's number 1, connection to the earth, connection to our ancestors, to culture, remembering the transatlantic slave trade. That's essential in healing from hip hop as a black person, as a black woman. Eating healthy, right? Making sure that we have enough protein, fiber, vitamins, minerals, leafy greens in our diet, that we're eating locally, that we're eating close to a plant-based diet. And third, dance as a way to connect to ancestors, as a way to reconnect back in my body. And that's been a way that I've shielded myself and nurtured myself from the negativity that not only just comes with being a black woman in America, but in hip hop, in pop culture. That's my healing practice.
Think about it once, think about it twice.